But in that act, and this is in that bill that is before him, there is a clause ambayo imewekwa so that you know that Ruto is permanently looking for ways of rigging himself into power. This is amendment. It's a new clause that has been introduced as 38A 1A, and it reads, the commission shall appoint a place or places or designate a vehicle or vehicles or a vessel or vessels as polling station or polling stations for each electoral area. Kwa lugha rahisi, yani tutapiga kura kwa gari. Sheria sasa inawapa ruhusa watumie magari kama polling stations, sio madarasa zile tumezoea. So I don't know, utumie gari kama polling station, si moja is vehicle or vehicles. Ni not in one polling station, is polling station or polling stations. Na rafu wanasema for each electoral area. So sio pahali fulani pengine kule Mandairats, is the whole of this country. Kila polling station unaweza sema watu wasipigie kura kwa darasa, wacha wapigie kwa hii pickup. I don't think Kenyans are fools to allow this kind of an amendment to pass. Even as he signs, this is one of the areas that requires to be sent back to Parliament for deletion. This is a clear way of trying to rig elections. Utapiga kura ama gari itakuwa ikitembea barabara na kikero, sema nani anataka kupiga kura area hii, nani anataka kupiga kura. Is that the kind of thing we want to get into? This morning we discussed many issues and we have a follow-up meeting on, but they have come strongly and they have put their demands, and we want to start with them in the activities. And this Generation Z now constitutes the modern day freedom fighter and demand for justice in a special way for the following ambao wamesomwa na Gen Z, but we also want to join as a party in recognizing them and saying pole to the families, and of course calling out this government because they are the ones, this regime ya Ruto ndio imewaua hawa vijana ambao walikuwa wametokea tu kusema ya kwamba maisha haifai kule, na hao majina yao ni kama Alex Masai, Matthew Joroge, Kennedy Jeru, Eric Kayoni Kieni, Berry Kogi, Kevin Mawasi, Caroline Shilamba, Clinton Mwalavi, Emmanuel Giggs Tata, Bibi Scott, Kennedy Odhiambo Maina, Kevin Madanga. Join Gen Z in saying pole to the families, and this regime must be made to compensate the families for the loss of their dear ones. It's unbelievable that at this time, 60 years into our independence, we still are killing people who are coming out to just say we want our rights respected. It's really sad. It's unbelievable. But also an opportunity to call those of us who are still at home, wale ambao pengine ni Generation Z ambao hawajawaunga wenzao, na pia wale wazazi ambao pia wanafikiria ni jambo ambalo liko bali na wao. They should join their parents, their children, in saying no to the injustices that are the protest from Gen Z. You will recall Ruto addressing, I don't know whether it was from, will be dissolved so that we can make some savings. I think he needed to make some food disclosure, which is very rare for him, that he has no capacity to dissolve any parastatal. All these parastatals have been established through an act of parliament, and it is only by repealing the acts through parliament that such a promise can be made. So for him to stand in front of the Generation Z and Kenyans and to give such a promise, it is another way of looking for a reason to postpone the eventuality that is now certain. That eventuality is that Ruto must go, and where he goes is home. Kama hajaelewa anaambiwa aende nyumbani, asije akafikiria anaambiwa aende State House ya Nakuru. A proper plan and something that he is putting into action. We need to see acts of parliament being repealed, or bills proposing to repeal the 47 acts of parliament that constituted or were used to start the parastatus. Ruto also went ahead and said that he is going to form the debt audit task force. Uogo mwingine. When we say he lies all the time, you can see that this is a habit that he is not going to get out of. Because there exists a public debt management office. Reports, all the reports from that office are supposed to be filed with Parliament every year. And within Parliament, there is a parliamentary committee that, and I think, formed under the health to deal with the issues of health, and it was gazetted on the 5th of July 2024. Stop running away from issues by creating task forces, unnecessary commissions of inquiry. That was the order of the day during the KANU regime. We now have the Public Service Commission. We can see the questions on IBC. Why is it that we don't have an IBC in place? He said that he will have constituted it within 10 days. 10 days ends tomorrow. Na pengine sijui kama kuna kitu amefanya. He has not traveled in the last 2-3 weeks, so most likely he has done something, but I haven't seen anything up to date. Siku 10 zinaisha kesho kama hakuwa na hesabu. He talks about in 6 months, in 3 months, ni kama siku hazitaisha. 10 days ends tomorrow. Where is the IBC? And he also did not tell Generation Z ya kwamba he is not even going to give us the IBC. We need a panel. The law requires a panel for them to go through a set of people who are then appointed as commissioners of IBC. So he needs to come and to tell Kenyans the truth so that he doesn't raise our expectations. But as he's doing this, remember, why we don't have an IBC in Kenya today, or commissioners, is because Ruto designed it and effected it by sending home the Sherera 4.
Yes.
He forced them to resign.
True.
And he has kept us without a commission for 2 years. Alikuwa anachora nini? Ile alikuwa anachora, na walikuwa wamechora because they had already started telling us, forget about 2027. Get used to 2032. Wamepatikana na Generation Z. Hata 2027 ni bari. Wajue hivyo, 2027 ni bari. But as he embarks on this exercise of getting commissioners into office, let him not make mistakes of appointing people without a track record. And we want the help of Generation Z because they can be able to track what we have done in the past. Let them dig the dirt of every person who will be appointed wrong for too long. Watusaidie to ensure that we have people who are people of character, people who have a track record, people we can entrust, so that when we come to doing elections 2027, if Ruto can be able to sustain himself that far, I doubt. Hata Ruto mwenyewe akiwa chairman, ajue uchaguzi ataaguka. Even if he is the chairman of IBC, let him know that he cannot succeed this time round. And we need people who are useful, who have been useful to this country, so that we are able to prepare for elections by that time. Remember, we have constituencies and wards that are still unrepresented to date. Na ni vibaya kukaa na watu kuwa na watu Kenya hii ambao sauti yao isikiki bungeni ama kwa county assemblies. Lingine ni kusema ya kwamba we have seen look at how peaceful the concert yesterday was. Yani hata wewe mwenye ulikuwa nyumbani unasikia uliachwa kwa nini? Kwa nini au kwenda kule nje kufurahia na kujisikia kwamba ni Mkenya? Why? Because the police were not there, so the goons were not there. And these are members, hawa ni machairmans hapa Nairobi. They can tell you when the goons are being paid and where they are being picked. So usije ukafikiri mambo haijulikani, and we will ask them to help us going forward. If they see goons being recruited from any part of their constituency, wapige duru. Yes, they also have phones. They can try and be smart so that we can be able to address those issues together. And unless we have another question, I think those are the issues we wanted to talk about. And again, encourage Generation Z not to give up. Kenyans are looking upon them to help us out of the difficulties that we are in. And we ask Ruto to learn to tell the truth, kwa sababu hataachiliwa hata kidogo, kwa sababu ukweli utajulikana. I know the IBC bill is before him for signature. He could be signing it today or tomorrow, whatever time he chooses to sign. But also remember, if it is beyond 7 days, and it's already law, even without his signature. Najua hivyo, kama tena hiyo amesahau. But in that act, and this is in that bill that is before him, there is a clause ambayo imewekwa so that you know that Ruto is permanently looking for ways of rigging himself into power. This is amendment. It's a new clause that has been introduced as 38A 1A, and it reads, the commission shall appoint a place or places or designate a vehicle or vehicles or a vessel or vessels as polling station or polling stations for each electoral area. Kwa lugha rahisi, yani tutapiga kura kwa gari. Sheria sasa inawapa ruhusa watumie magari kama polling stations, sio madarasa zile tumezoea. So I don't know, utumie gari kama polling station moja is vehicle or vehicles. Ni not in one polling station, is polling station or polling stations. Na alafu wanasema for each electoral area. So sio pahali fulani pengine kule Mandairas, is the whole of this country. Kila polling station unaweza sema watu wasipigie kura kwa darasa, wacha wapigie kwa hii pickup. I don't think Kenyans are fools to allow this kind of an amendment to pass. Even as he signs, this is one of the areas that requires to be sent back to Parliament for deletion. This is a clear way of trying to rig elections. Utapiga kura ama gari itakuwa ikitembea barabara na kikero, sema nani anataka kupiga kura area hii, nani anataka kupiga kura. Is that the kind of thing we want to get into? Because that is what they seem to be saying and allowing to happen. So it is a clear provision that will help people rig if we get to point of voting next time. Finally, other than those who have been killed because of the protest, we also have very many missing. Among them, yesterday or the day before, there is Joyce Mwangi, who was abducted in Nanyuki, among others in Nanyuki. And why was she abducted? Because she has started collecting signatures to recall members of parliament who voted for the finance bill that was finally rejected by Kenyans. We want to say as a party that those who were not in parliament when the voting was going on, and those who voted yes, all of them wako kwa saduku moja. The recall process is on. Immediately we hit 24 months, the signatures will start being corrected for their recall. And we do not want our members or Kenyans who want to recall members being harassed and abducted unnecessarily. Askari tafadhali, hata nyinyi mnasaidiwa na vijana, wacheni Asubaisha Buli. Asanteni sana. That's enough.